Hi everyone, this is Frank DeRose, bass instructor at the School of the Blues. Today we're going to learn to walk the bass. This walking style is used in blues and country and many other roots rock musical styles. We're going to learn to use the root, third, and fifth note of the scale to create this walking sound. This lesson comes from my book called Blues Bass Play-Along Trax in the School of the Blues lesson series published by Mel Bay. You can get this book directly from Mel Bay and Amazon and other online retailers. When you get this book, you will see that there are 15 full song-length tracks to play to. Each track I play examples of the introduction or the ending or the chorus, the main part of the song, so that you can become familiar with the sound and the finger movements, and then you can play along with the tracks. So, open the tab and you will see that the first page is taken right from the book. The second page, a handwritten page, features two alternate ways to play this track, still using the root, third, and fifth of the scale. So get yourself familiar with the first page, and I'll get set up and be back in a moment, and we'll get started. All right, let's get started walking the bass. So first, let me talk you through the three chords, E, A, and B. So root, third, fifth. We're going to be centered right here on this E note here on the 7th fret of the A string. And we're going to, as written in the tab, play root, third, fifth, third. So play that along with me a couple of times. I'll count us in. Make sure that you feel comfortable with that fingering. Use your middle finger, first finger, fourth finger. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Very good. Now the 4 chord, the A, is going to be centered right here off of the 5th fret of the E string. Our fingers are going to make the same movement. So play that with me a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when it's time for the 5 chord, the B, we're going to play it right off of the 7th fret of the E string. Same finger movements. So play that with me a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we have played the root, third, fifth, and third for each of the chords of this song. The tab takes you through the chord chart, takes you through the progression as recorded. Now let's quickly look at the turnaround. So when we play the 5 to the 4, that's measures 9 and 10. When we get to measure 11, we play the E, and we walk down, and then we play the B. So I'm going to put a pause right here. You practice that fingering a little bit, and then we'll play a couple of choruses of this exercise, learning to walk the bass. All right, I hope you're all set up and ready. I'm going to start the player. You're going to hear the clicks for the count, and I'm going to count it out loud for you as well. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So there we have walking the bass using the root third and fifth right out of my book. So let me get reset up and you go to page 2 and let's do the first alternate. Okay, let's do the first alternate. We're going to be playing the lowest E on our 4-string bass, the open E. We're going to play the E arpeggio right off that open string. So as written in the tab, we're going to play the open string, then we play at the 4th fret of that E string, then the 2nd fret of the A string, then back to the 4th fret of the E string. So try that with me. Let's do it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 1 chord. Now we're going to go up a string to that open A string. That is the first note of our 4 chord. So let's finger that. The fingers move exactly the same way. Open, 4th fret of that same A string. Then we're going to go up and play the 2nd fret of the D string, back to the 4th fret of the A string. So let's try that. I'll count us in. Let's do it a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, the B is going to be a different fingering than the E and A, but B is the same fingering we used in the previous version of how to play in this 1, 3, 5, 3. But we're going to be playing off the 2nd fret of the A string. That's a B note. So root, 3rd, 5th, 3rd. So 2nd fret of the A string, 1st fret of the D string, 4th fret of the D string, and back to the 1st fret. That's root 3rd, 5th, 3rd. I'll count us in. Play it a couple times with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Then we, for measures 9 and 10, it's going to sound like this going into the turnaround. Then the turnaround starts right here on this E note on the 2nd fret of the D string. So we go E, D, C sharp, C, B. So it's the 2, 2nd fret, open D, 4th fret of the A, 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the A string, just as it's written in the tab. So practice what you see in the tab for a few moments, and then we'll play it a couple times through together. So I'm going to put a pause right here. Now that you're familiar with the fingering and the location of the notes, let's give it a try. So we're going to start from the 5, which is the 9th measure. So on the top of that handwritten page, the first 3 lines are this first alternate version. The first measure of the last line is the 5. That's the 9th measure. We're starting on the B, which is 2nd fret of the A string. So unlike the previous version where we played our B up here on the 7th fret, we're going to play it here on the 2nd fret of the A string. They are the exact same notes. So if you wanted to play from the 5, the way it was written in the previous version, you could go ahead and do that, but I strongly suggest you learn to do it in this new position. It helps you better understand your fingerboard. So let me cue up the player. We're going to play it a couple of times through. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, a traveling man, baby, that's all I really know. Well, a traveling man, baby, that's all I really know. Well, I love to see new places everywhere I go. Well, I'm leaving my homestead, moving on down the line. Well, I'm leaving my homestead, moving on down the line. While I'm packing my suitcase, people, gonna catch a southbound ride. Yeah, tell me now.
Yeah, that's a School of Blues all-star band that you're playing along with. Kevin Coggins on the drums, John Garcia on the guitar and vocals, with an original song just for this Play-Along Trax book. So, I am going to set us up for the second alternate while you get a chance to look over and make yourself familiar with the fingerings, and I'll be back in a moment. Let's take a closer look at this new arpeggio. This is an inverted arpeggio where we're going to start on the E note, 7th fret of the A string, just like from the first version. But the first version, we played our 3 and 5 in pitch above that E. Now we're going to play our 3 and 5 in lower pitch lower than that E. So this works best when we play this arpeggio using our little finger on the E. And then the second note, which is the 3rd note of the scale, is right here on the 4th fret of the E. That's the G sharp. And then the B we play here. So let's play it together. I'll count us in and we'll play it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Now, when we add this to the A arpeggio that we used in the first version, we get this really hip sound of these notes being very close together. because the spread is not that far. As opposed to when we played this version of the E arpeggio, and then this A, it's very obvious when you're listening that they're far apart. But this new one, we get them closer together. So it gives us a much more sophisticated sound to our bass playing when we play it like that. So now, let me get this player queued back up again, and we'll play this new version. Play it a couple times through. We'll have some fun. So look over that chart one more time, clear up any questions in your mind, and let's get ready to play. All right, I'm going to kick the player off. We're going to do this third version where we play this new inverted arpeggio for the E. So from the 5, as before, and here we go. So there we have it, an inversion, the first inversion that we've learned. So I'll be right back with some final thoughts. Today, we started our journey on learning to walk the bass. Today, we use the root, third, and fifth notes of the scale to create a walking bass sound through a 12-bar blues. Today we played a 12-bar blues in the key of E that had a quick change and a standard blues turnaround. We also started from the 5. So today's lesson had many important elements that we encounter every time we play the blues, especially if we go to a blues jam and somebody says, we're going to play an E, a quick change with a turnaround, take it from the 5. We have just practiced that. I want you to remember that structure, apply those words to it. So practice this over and over again, because the next video we are going to extend this root, third, fifth walking idea, and we're going to add another note, which means we're not going to repeat the way we did in the root 3, 5, 3. We're going to play root 3, 5, 6, and we're going to see how cool that is. And we're going to apply some of these same alternates. So, until I see you again, keep on thumping that bass. Bye for now.